Hmm. Alright, let's see some. Alright, so I hope right now my audio's doing well. Right now, yeah, my audio's good. Well, right now, good. Now, I don't understand. I've mentioned this before, last night actually, where on the app on Xbox with stream to Twitch and YouTube, I write in the the title. It will say the title on Twitch, but not on YouTube, and I don't understand that. And it's a pain in the ass. My time's valuable. I don't have enough time during the day. Yeah, because I put the phone up to my ear. That's why. And oh, Dishpan, he scared the hell out of me. I was so focused on trying to figure out how to put my thumbnail up and, at the title. And he walks right up to me, and I jumped. I'm in a dark room, no lights, and then I'm focused, and then all of a sudden he shows up, and he scared the crap out of me. And maybe I thought he was Bigfoot or something. I don't know. Now I'm getting like paranoid of Bigfoot. Thanks to him. I swear. Alright, now let me get this situated and stuff, which is a pain in the ass. I shouldn't have to go through this. But the joys of streaming, right? Alright, man. Now. Yeah, now I can do it. Hallelujah. There's a YouTube God. Alright, now. I'm going to put my thumbnail up. There you go. That's done. Now I have to put in my title. There you go. Public, yes. Description. Okay. Alright. I'm almost done. It's a different setup on Xbox than it is on the computer. I have Streamlabs, so that's my control center and stuff. So again, I'm doing this raw and naked. And because I can't play Pinball FX on my computer. I actually have Pinball FX on my computer through Steam. But I'm not gonna spend another $15 on what I already have on Xbox. So money's pretty tight right now, so alright. There we go. Now, and then wait, hold on. Oh, of course I have Java Monster. Wait, let me see. Wait, can you hear this? Hold on. Well, it doesn't sound tinny, but I have it. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this raccoon. Hell yeah! It fuels the chaos. Alright, hold on. It sounded like a bass drum more than anything. Alright, wait a minute. Might have to. Oh my god. At least it's not taking long as it was yesterday or last night, right? So there we go. There we go. And Dishpan, do you see my thumbnail? I'm not talking about the thumbnail on my thumb, on my hand. I'm talking about, alright, so you back out of live stream, right? Or just back out of YouTube altogether. And then go back on, and then go on my channel to see if you can see my, alright, good. Alright, good. Alright, hold on. I'm missing something here. Alright, hold on. I'm almost done. What in the... Oh. No, what? Well, something happened. I don't know what. Oh, alright. Wait a minute. Oh. Alright, wait a minute. Alright. Yay! Alright. I think we're almost done. It's setting everything up. How about that? Alright. So I have a pin comment. All that, which is good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can't. You've been feeling shitty. Just man, why? I wanted to go on earlier, but I'm trying to do a project, and it had to do with a lot of walking, and I was in so much pain, and I didn't go into a panic attack. I didn't go to the ER, but my back was out. And so, anyway, enough about me. Just weight of the world. Yeah! I think everybody's feeling it. It's not just you. And that's why a lot of people rage on YouTube and on Twitter and Reddit, and you know, they know something's coming. And it's been coming for a while, and the world's getting darker and darker and darker and demonic. You know, and I'm not trying to bring politics into this, alright? But Trump is really, I mean, he's done like a 180, okay? And, you know, enough about that. But, I think Trump's, I'm going to say this, he took a lot of his MAGA base for granted, okay? Especially after the first assassination attempt. You know what I mean? He ran with it. And also, like, you know, when he had Corey, that firefighter that died in Butler, Pennsylvania, Corey Compantre, I think his name was, or whatever, and they had his gear at the RNC, and Trump hugged it. Like, that was a photo op. He should have that whole setup, his whole gear, in the Oval Office. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes, like with me, I fall into the rabbit hole and stuff, especially when I'm in a lot of pain. But sometimes you just have to switch and just maybe take a walk. Walk is good for your dopamine levels, your serotonin levels, and all that stuff. I felt good when I was walking today. And I haven't walked that far in a long time. All the world is the heart's in the way, this man. All the world's stage. I don't know what. All the world's hearts in a way, but yeah, it's, a lot of people are saying, oh, there's a lot of panic in the world, like Trump's gonna really do what he's gonna do with nuking Iran and all this other crap. And I told this to Jim today. Do you really think he's gonna make that phone call and say the codes and stuff like that? No. You know why? Because he's all about hype. He's all about himself. So if that happens, he's not gonna be able to take credit for everything like he does, like with the Gulf of America. I still call it the Gulf of Mexico. And I don't know. To me, he's like another Gaddafi or a Saddam Hussein. He's a megalomaniac. I mean, I don't want him to get assassinated. I don't want that. But, he's not like he was when he was the 45th president. Something's changed. And here I'm saying, I don't want to talk about politics, and we're talking about politics. I apologize for that, but like as soon, like it was 3 weeks into his presidency, and he had the three guys that were gonna, Sam Altman, the guy from Palantir, and the head of the bag and stuff, who's Chinese or whatever, and they're gonna invest $450 billion on AI instead of giving it to the people here, for programs for rehabs or shelters or whatever. Yeah, and then they had to have that distraction with a rocket going around the moon, not landing, around the moon. So, but anyway, excuse me. Thanks for triggering me, Dishpan. Are you happy now? Oh, man. I didn't even do my introduction. I'll do it right now. Hey, everybody, this is Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters in Rocklahoma. And Sunday. We're doing a Midnight Madness on Pinball FX with the new Williams Pinball Tables Volume 10. So if you like whacking balls as much as I do, welcome. Because the best is about to be whacked. Yeah. '70s were great. '80s were great. '90s, it was all fuzzy and hazy. Because that was really the height of my addiction. You know, we're going to do something different. We're going to go to quest lines. And what you do is try to beat the challenges. But there's Elvira. I loved her tables back in the day. Now, I have a lot of tables. There's Pinball. My most favorite pinball machines were Pinball and High Speed. And the Addams Family. And the Twilight Zone. Because I was always in the Twilight Zone. And the Magic tables, too, I liked. Yep. So we're just gonna excuse me. We're just gonna do the quest lines, and you can see on top where they have tournaments, and this is cross platforms. That's why you should have a tablet, Dishpan. That's why you should have a tablet or a computer or something, so you can whack some balls and play in tournaments and everything. You see, I do tournaments. And I have a feeling. Wait, what? Well, this is new. Play events, amass season points by reaching the target score, and earn shiny rewards to decorate your pinball and player profile. Oh, this isn't new, because I did that already. So this is my pinball. Say hello, everybody in the chat, so you can be acknowledged. We here at the Queen's Light Brigade like to get to know each other. Lurkers. Oh, one guy just left. I laugh at times when I talk about, like, God, religion, Jesus, or politics. I'll go poof. You know, it's like, you know, that's why I don't like talking about politics. Like, I want to do a show called Rockets Blast-Offs where I rant about all that crap, you know, because it does suck. Yeah, Bigfoot is, yeah. I'm telling you this, man. I was so focused on, you know, trying to figure out how to do the title and the description on the phone. And here comes Jim. I got so scared. Now I'm paranoid of Bigfoot thanks to him. I think I should have Bigfoot as my mascot, right? All right, let's whack some balls and stuff. All right, but thanks for being here, Dishpan. I hope your mood gets better. I mean, everybody goes through the same thing. You know what I mean? You just have to keep the faith and just stay away from YouTube for a while, or, you know, do something that you haven't done before, like maybe write poetry, or draw, or something. You love to cook? Maybe write a cookbook and sell it for charity or something. And that's a good idea, as we're going to play a la carte. We're going to play the Pinball Machine Diner. Alright, here we go. I mean, oh, it's a 3-minute challenge, alright. Let's go!
Give me the chili and a root beer.
The best root beer is Stewart's root beer. And, oh my god. I love Stewart's root beer. And I make my own chili, but I haven't done that in a while because of my back and all that. But all I have to do is, you know, you can make your homemade chili in a crock pot. That's what I used to do all the time. I miss cooking. Nope. Oh, wow. Multiplier times 2. There you go. Charge! Alright, look at everybody likes the chilies and fries. I used to eat French fries with gravy and cheese. That's a Jersey thing right there.
Hurry up, partner.
And it's really good.
Hurry up, partner.
Ah.
Order up. I'll have burgers and fries.
Come on.
Order up.
Woo! 500. I'm doing better today
Would you please get to the end, dog, and the root beer?
than I did last night. And we're finished, guys. There was a girl named Rocket Queen, who's the finest girl you ever seen. I wish Jim was here to see this. Alright, wait. Alright, there was a girl named Rocket Queen, who's the finest girl you ever seen. And if Bigfoot calls, he'll get kicked in the balls. And I don't mean the pinball machine. say that. I really do. That. You know, I can make some now. See, I'm gonna tell you something. I have a project, right, that I was doing this afternoon with Jim. Because I asked him, I said, can you help me with certain things and stuff like that and get your mind out of the gutter? It's not one of those things. Anyway, so we did it, and so we finished it, what we had to get finished with. It's a surprise, guys. I'm not gonna, right? So then, so he said to me, we did all this stuff for your project, right? Are you gonna finish it? Because I have so many projects unfinished on my computer. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of them that had to do with the Coffee Break crew. But we're not gonna go there. But, yes, that was a fine poem. But I have to save this. In fact, hold on for a minute. Let me see something. I'm gonna make that a pinned message. This pan. So look on top. That's special right there. That's gold. Thank you very much, this pan. You rock, buddy. You really do. Cheers. Job Monsters, you rockin' feel for this rock queen. Hell yeah. Cheers. Now, did that make you feel good after you wrote it? Huh? When you do something creative like that, it makes you feel better. Even if it's just, creating a new dish. Oh wait, what? Oh, this is the pinball table comment. Oh, come on. What in the world? Oh, I'll hit you. I'll hit you with a Jersey jab. How about that? Oh my word, I'm not no good on this. Yeah, whatever. Oh. I used to write a lot. I actually wrote a few songs for my band too. One of them's called Dancing with the Devil. Every metal band has a song that's titled Dancing with the Devil. I just want to let you know, this man, I'm not ignoring you. Or I'm not ignoring anybody else. I'm focused on whacking balls. So just be patient with me. I mean, I can look down on my phone and see parts of the comments or the messages, but didn't get it up, man. There we go. Damn it! What in the world? Shoot. Yeah, come on! Oh, I missed him. Shoot. Screw off. He's nothing but a punk anyway. And as I say that, the ball goes down the slot. There you go. So, alright. So, I used to write lots of those limericks to make my buddy laugh. He died in 2024. Or no, 2021. No, I'm playing a PC. That hard. I don't know what the rest of it says. You're just playing my soundtrack. I'm sorry about your friend, Dishpan. That's hard. How old was he? And, if you don't mind me asking, what did he die of? I've had a lot of friends that died. And stuff. Actually, 2 years ago, one of my friends died on my father's birthday, which is February 4th. And the day before, he says, well, I think I had the flu or something. And then the next day, he passed away. I thought it was from suicide because he was in the Marine Corps. And all that, but I don't know. $41 or something. He dropped dead in his kitchen. He was not a user. Completely unexplained. Well, that's what happens. My friend, Ronnie, he went to, go visit a girl down the shore. And he lived in, Mount Olive, New Jersey, okay? So, that was a 2.5 hour trip, 3 hours, right? From Mount Olive, New Jersey to, the Jersey Shore. But he kept saying to me, I'm getting heartburn a lot, but I feel fine. I'm not eating anything greasy or anything. And a lot. So, I get a phone call from my friend Jeannie. She said Ronnie died. And I thought she was talking about my ex-boyfriend, Ronnie, okay? And I was like, yeah, she met Ronnie maybe twice and stuff. But with Ronnie, the one that passed away, we were mutual friends for a long time. And so, what happened happened was, it was in the papers and everything up in Jersey in the Daily Record. What happened was he was driving home from the Jersey Shore. He was on Route 206, and this was like in the middle of the night too, by the way. And he had a heart attack and he slammed right into the tree. He veered off on the he veered off to the left and hit a tree, and he got killed instantly. But yeah, he died from a heart attack. Yeah. It was funny because all his ex-wives were there. Yeah. You know what? And the one ex-wife, her name was Barbara, and she was a woohoo, you know what? But, and it was weird because she actually wrote like a letter, and she put it on top of his hands because it was to open the casket, right? So she put the letter right on his hand, and we saw it, and I went up there, I grabbed it and stuff, and because she walked out, you see, and so one of his other ex-wives said, just rip it up. Just rip it up and all that crap. You know, she was really she was just, and actually, they met, and listen, if you ever go into rehab or detox or a psych ward, don't get into any relationships with a man or a woman, okay? Because you're gonna really regret it. You know what I mean? Because you're only seeing one side of them inside that place. You know what I mean? And that's what happened to him. And he regretted it. And stuff. And he got his marriage annulled from her. And then she does this crazy stuff by writing a crazy letter and stuff, and we ripped it up, and that was it. But when you're in a psych ward, rehab, or detox, you're there to focus on yourself, nobody else. And you don't want to be committed either, this man. Just go voluntarily. You know? I mean that. Because if you get committed, alright, by a judge, and they decide, oh, well, he needs longer treatment, like in a state mental institution, or, I don't know, you know, like where you're at and stuff, it's going to take a long time for you to get out of there and stuff. If I don't need to, if I don't need to, I know what you're saying. Alright, so we're gonna be on fire! Just like that song I have on one of my shorts. I am the fire! And I will burn you. Now, this pinball machine, I don't think I ever played. I'll remember it. But yet, at that time I was high, so I don't know. Darn it. What the heck, man? Well, get yourself out. Get yourself out. Don't you have a GPS on your phone? Well, at that time, they didn't have GPSs, right? On cell phones.
We've lost her.
I don't even know what he said.
Help her.
What did he say? Perfect?
Get me out of here! It's about time. It's about time.
That's skill right there, baby. We just got you out. Are you crazy, lady? What is happening? It's a shame about, like, Farsight Studios with the licenses, with Williams and Bally and stuff. And this is how they get you. When Farsight Studios announced, well, you better get your tables because Williams' licenses are up. You know, we'll give you a short amount of time to get all the tables. And that's how they get you. They jack up the price and of all these tables that you want. Do I go on Pinball Arcade now? No. You know? But I just had to have those tables. Right? But Farsight Studios was like the innovator of real physics, real ball physics and stuff. Excuse me. The most realistic pinball game in the 80s was High Speed and Pinbot on the NES. And I had those two games. Then Farsight Studios did a bowling game like the PBA bowling game, and Rockaway, New Jersey is in that game. And I used to go bowl there. Because it's in Morris County, Rockaway, New Jersey. I was so proud. I was like, yeah! But I don't even play that game anymore. I'm just not... I think I'm so focused right now on trying to build a community and all that. I'm actually working on merch. I mean, I'm actually designing merch and stuff, but that costs money. See, everything costs money and stuff. Darn it. Because I want to do giveaways and all that, you know, to show my appreciation to you guys and stuff, you know. everything takes time, but I've learned a few hard lessons these past few weeks about certain situations. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna bring them up or anything. It's not, you know, but I'm just saying I learned hard lessons. And I used to talk about, be careful about certain communities and all that stuff, and yeah, whatever. But it sucks, you know. Especially if, when you have a brother in recovery, and you invest so much time and effort, in a creative way also. And that's how, it hurts, but, life goes on and, but I think it's just sad that that whole community never said happy birthday to Jim or never came by and just, but, oh well, screw 'em. It's their loss. No. No, what? Get it in. That's what she said last night. There it is. I got it in. Oh, we're... How long is your hose, this man? I'm only kidding. I had to ask that, but see, you're not a firefighter. I'll tell you a funny story about Jim and I. So,
We've lost her.
we were first beginning to talk, on Xbox, right? And we were playing on Battlefield 4, and I was a hardcore COD player, and so I was trying to impress him, because I was such a badass at COD, but Battlefield is much different, right? And so, so we were on this one map. It had jet skis on it, right? So he has this. We have this on video. So I got on the jet ski, right? And I said, I can't get off. Wink, wink. You know what I'm talking? Like, oh my God. And then there was one time I said, you want to pet my pussy? Cat. You get it? I have very good timing at times. And so I have a twisted sense of humor like that.
the hole. Ah.
Oh, wow. What in the world? Was that a big fart or something? That rumble? It sounded like it. Talk about having gas. Darn it. Time for a swig of Java Monster. Oh, and so today after we got done with what we had to get done, I told Jim, I said, you know, why don't you go to Dollar General and get like Monster? You know, get Java Monster for me and and just he doesn't drink. Well, he drinks Java Monster. Like, he'll go to Tank and Tummy before he goes to church, and he'll buy, like, a Java Monster. That's the only time, right? I hate Red Bull. Did you hear a few years ago, like, this is years ago, that they found small amounts of cocaine? Small amounts of cocaine in Red Bull? Boo! But so I hate Red Bull. I hate there's another energy drink called Rain. You know, like, you know, the Queen reigns a land or whatever. And I got that. I hated that. That tastes nasty. Maybe that's why that heart gets in the way. But Jim was dry from Monster for 6 days. And then I was the enabler, and I said, for your birthday, get yourself some Monsters, right? So he did. But tonight, when he was watching TV, he bought 3 Monsters, by the way, today or yesterday, right? He drank 2. He would drink 3 already, right? And he said to me, yeah, Monster doesn't have the same effect. Like, it's like, why am I drinking this? Isn't that something? That's what happens with a lot of addicts and alcoholics, you know, where they'll spend time in, like, rehab or detox or whatever, and something clicks. Like, you know, it's like, why am I doing this? And then you feel ashamed and guilty, and that's how the vicious cycle starts, you see? But I'm seriously thinking about, like, just, I've been drinking a lot more water. But I'm seriously thinking about, like, not drinking, Java Monster anymore. It's becoming too expensive anyway, also. But oh, here we go, Diner. All you can eat survival. Reach the target score to restart the timer and advance to the next level. Limited game time, 180 seconds. Infinite ball save. Power modifiers. Half the scores of bumper hits. And I haven't played this, so let's go! $50,000 off the bat.
Give me the chili and a root beer.
250. Woo.
Give me the chili and a root beer.
No.
Give me the chili and a root beer.
I hope you feel better, this man. Multi-ball, baby. Multi-ball. Let the chaos begin.
Yeah, hot dog and the root beer.
Crap. That didn't last long, did it? That's what he said last night. I want to...
Come on, man. You are too slow.
Nope. Don't say fine. I don't want to hear fine, this man. Fine means fucked up, irrational, neurotic, emotional.
Come on, man. You are too slow.
That's not really a feeling anyway. When I used to stream, live stream, I used to pull up a feelings chart. And if you've been into a detox or a psych ward or rehab or intensive outpatient, a lot of these groups will have counselors pull out a feelings chart because we don't know how to identify feelings.
Order up. I'll have the Texas chili and fries.
But nowadays, a lot of people are confused about their feelings, and they use emojis for their feelings, you know, which really, I mean, I use emojis too, alright? But still, you know. But I want to bring back that feelings chart also. What's that? Alright, so I'm feeling either, this man. Do you feel excited? Do you feel relieved? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel angry? Do you feel, unmotivated? Those are feelings. Craptastic. I'll let that one go. Yeah. Craptastic. Don't get sucked into the darkness, this man. You know, I mean, we all do. I do, Jim does, and whatever, and I know it's hard because, you know, it's like the powers that be really has us by the shorties. You know what I mean? We're all brainwashed. Hell, Donald Trump's brainwashed. He he just, with what he tweets and, you know, that, don't go there. Yeah, we're not a political channel. This is our space, right? With whatever goes on in the world. And you know what gets me too? Jim watches that New York Prepper, okay? Always at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock or whatever, right? Well, one of his mods died suddenly and stuff. I mean, right? And the only reason why I watched it for the couple of nights is I want to know how she died. I mean, you know. But he'll watch it before he goes to bed. I don't know how he goes to bed. And he has weird dreams too, but he doesn't remember them. And I think it's because of that New York Prepper stuff. Yeah, to me, they're all arrogant, like even like Canadian Prepper. But there's this one guy, Alaskan Prepper, he's not doing YouTube anymore. Now that. I like Trevor. Now, Trevor, you know, he's called the Prepared Homestead. Prepared Homestead. And he lives in Missouri. He's all right. I like him, but it's the same crap. You know, like get ready now and all this crap. You know, and then I watch the Appalachian Homestead with Petra. She's all right, but sometimes her voice and just she gets annoying at times too. You watch him tonight? I think Jim did. I woke up. I took a nap. I took a long nap because my back was killing me. And I was just exhausted from what we did today. And so, most likely he was watching New York Prepper. There's another Prepper too called the Angry Prepper. He's out in New York State or New York City. I know all these preppers because of him, of Jim. And during COVID, I'll admit, I was becoming a prepper, okay? I was getting things like I was getting thermoses for Jim for work, and I was doing this. I was getting like trail cams for, you know, invaders and all that crap. And I was stocking up on food. I was doing this. I was getting stuff on Amazon. Like, you know, and that Patriot, and you see these commercials, right, on YouTube for the Patriot food, you know, like the food that lasts for 25 years, and they have like they sell a generator or a solar powered cooler or something like that. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? Now, Canadian Prepper, he was supposed to move to the U.S. I guess he did. I think it was all a lie, or, you know, whatever. But he's arrogant, but he has his own store. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people push their products on you, you know. Yeah, I prepped during that too. Good thing I did, because I fired for, you got fired for refusing vaccinations. And then hold on, in the press, but then I spent $100,000 on coke and you got jaundice? You got hit with Hep C? Jim, I'm gonna tell you something. When all that was happening, they said, if you can get your pastor to say, well, I'm not going to get, the vax, for religious purposes, it's against my religion, they'll exempt you. And that's what Jim did. His mother, got 2 shots. 2 vax shots. But, yeah. I think, at times that killed her. And what was funny was, when she was going through her health problems, right? Her health was going downhill. And she was in the hospital, in the shrinky-dink hospital where I was about a week ago, before I went to OSU, to the Rich Man's Hospital. They said that she had COVID, but she showed no signs of it. Oh, you're a genius. You didn't get jaundice. Oh. Oh my God. Apparently I'm a dumb bitch. So, no, I'm not a dumb bitch, but I'm a bitch, but not dumb. Anyway, I look a lot dumber than I look, believe me. Jim married a smart woman. Let me tell you, he really did. He picked a smart woman from Jersey. Whatever smart is in New Jersey, how they measure that, you know. Oh, that's right, with standardized tests. Anyway. Or no, the meter is how much of a train wreck you are, so they can put you on a reality show. That's the measure right there. I'm glad you're having fun, Dishpan. I'm having fun with you. Back to fire! Burn, bitch, burn. Ooh. That was a Kiss song. Burn, bitch, burn. Ooh. It's on the Analyze It album. Oh, wow. I guess that leads not lost. Oh, I thought the bearer was up. What, that's it? Was it one ball challenge? That's how much I'm paying attention. What the heck was that? Alright, near miss. Survival. Reach the target. Score to start the timer and advance to the next level. Limit game time 180 seconds. Which is 3 minutes. Infinite ball save. Alright. Nope. No. Oh, no. There you go. Woo! Oh. Dang it. There, he got ya, dummy. Oh, he got me back. Oh. You call me a turkey? Well, I'm gonna call you a Democrat because you're acting like a jackass. At least they're not gonna exile me from the game after I said that. Right, Dishpan? I had to make a dig at that. You know what? I should make it short of that. What I just said. And send it over to... I'm going to tell you something real quick. I have stuff, right, that I was going to put on here. Like as shorts and whatever. And Jim's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Even one of the girls I was talking to, and stuff, said, don't do it. I said, listen, I would have done it already. Especially back in my addiction, I would have done it already. You know? I still say to Jim, yeah, I feel like I'm going to put this short up, or that short up, or, and he's like, no, I said, I'm only kidding. Believe me, I would have done it already. And I feel like when I'm talking about this, okay, I'm laughing at it now, right? Or whatever. I'm still hurt by it. But at least I say the situation in a classy way. In my own Jersey classy way. You know what I mean? But you see some of these YouTube channels, it's all about drama with them. Because that's what gets them the clicks. And they're having a field day with the quartering Jeremy Hamley because something's going on with that, and it's like, big freaking deal. Like, get a life. You know what I mean? Do you know who the core ring is? Dishpan? I mean, they're really going after this guy. Like, do you know, Boogie, my son introduced me to that big fat guy, Boogie. Boogie 792 or something, I forget. And, but yeah, streaming, yeah, he's becoming really, I actually bought his coffee, and it wasn't really anything special. It was $20 for half a pound. I think for 8 ounces, $20. And everybody's saying, oh, he's lying about that. Where's the coffee factory that he owns and all this other crap? And no, I like him too. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. My son had the same beard as he did and stuff. And I think that's why I watch him. Sean's not like that now because he's in addiction in Portland, Oregon. And please have your thoughts and prayers go out to him. And all that. Please. But I think that's why I watch him. It's because he reminds me of my son. In a way. I mean, he's 40-something, alright? But just the way he had his beard and just, you know, a certain look. Well, thank you. I pray for you too, Dishpan. I pray for everybody. And that's another thing, too. I have to get that community post up about the prayer request. I have, like, I should just put it up later on today. There's so much going on with my channel, and it just seems like I'm only one person, right? And it's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, and all that stuff. And then when I start on something else, everything gets pushed aside. That's why, like with Jim, he's like, after we did what we did, get your mind out of the gutter, Dishpan. And no, we didn't do it in the woods either. We were doing something else. He's like, you're gonna finish this project, right? I said, yeah. He said, you're not just gonna let it go to the wayside, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna finish it. You know, it's just a lot of work. And sometimes my pain really gets in the way of things. You know, and then when my pain gets to a certain level, I go to panic attacks. And this morning, I was so bad with my back pain. And I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling depressed because of that situation. But you know what? Jim and I went out to do certain things for a project of mine, and I felt better. But then I was still hurting. I just wasn't thinking about that one situation. Oh my word. I did, and you know what? With Sean, I heard from his girlfriend, right? She's actually happy. I mean, I'm sure she saw it at her time. times of sadness and stuff. But with Sean not being in her life, or what stressing her out, she's living her life. She's going to arcades with her friends. Friday night, she actually went to see a band called the Rosy Cheeks. And I said to her, I said, what kind of cheeks? Ass cheeks? And she started laughing and stuff, She's a sweet girl. And her mother, like a few months ago, when all this was started with Sean, her mother is blind. Her mother went blind and stuff. But when Claire was talking to her mother and said, well, I'm talking to Sean's mom, she's like, what are you talking to Sean's mother for? Because I guess, Sean's still my son, all right? And I'll be a support for him too when he does the right thing, right? But she's talked to her mother and now she understands why. And I think if I was just for Sean and blaming her for this whole thing, I'm not. I'm supporting her too. Emotionally and everything. But when she sends me pictures of her going to a concert or at a pinball hall, or she's like at the Portland Oriental, or no, Portland Japanese Garden or whatever, she looks happy. Generally happy, and I'm happy for her. You know what I mean? And she wrote me, she says, all my friends think you're cool for supporting me. And I know a lot of parents that would. You know what I mean? But I don't bring Sean up to her unless she says something about him. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to trigger her by saying Sean's name, especially if she's having a good time and everything else. You know what I mean? I still haven't heard from him and stuff. And I tried calling the outreach Portland, my contact, and all of a sudden the phone just rings, and then somebody answers it or whatever, and they don't say a thing. So I don't know what's up with that, because all I know is he was served with a restraining order, and if they got in contact with him, you know what I mean? Because if he goes in front of a judge, I want to talk to the judge. Just like my mom did a few times, when I was locked up or whatever, So, yeah. But what will be. You know? I still have faith that, you know, something will happen with him. Even if he is really committed or actually mandated by the judge to go to rehab. But it can't be for a week. It has to be 3 to 6 months to a year. You know what I mean?
Give me the chili and a root beer.
And Mother's Day's coming up. I don't know what date it falls on. I know it's, you know, and so,
Give me the chili and a root beer.
I haven't talked to my mother in months. I mean, I still got her stuff for, like, Valentine's Day, whatever. But I think the reason why I feel guilty that she's in a nursing home. But I don't want her to bring up Sean. You know what I mean? Because she raised him. And, you know, it breaks my heart that Sean ended up this way. Because if she found out that Sean was on the streets homeless and he was addicted to fentanyl and meth and all that stuff, it would instantly kill her, okay? Because she lived for that kid. She did the best she could for him. You know what I mean? He's 36.
I'll have the Texas chili and fries.
He's a smart kid. And, you know, hold on. He has a YouTube channel, right? I had to look it up, whatever, right? But he's not like these kids today, okay? He didn't go to prom because of the music they were playing. It was all raunchy and all this stuff. He had this channel, and he was a part of a radio station online, on the internet, right? And he was playing all these oldies and obscure rock, and psychedelic rock, and punk rock, and I bet you would appreciate him, this man. I'm not just saying it to say it. He's like an encyclopedia of music. And his best year is 1966 or 1962. And he actually dresses like, you know, he's from the 60s. He's a unique kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so when he was doing this radio thing, you know, years ago, I told him, I said, listen, I know a girl you can talk to. She was the station manager at WDHA, Terry Carr, and they fired her a few months ago. They let her go, you know, and that's another thing too. Like, letting go of all the Jersey female DJs and station managers and all that stuff. Well, that's another story in itself. But anyway, so I told Sean, I said, listen, I'll give her a call and stuff and see what I can do. He said, all right, sure. So I call her up. She was happy to hear from me and stuff, and all that. And I told her about Sean. And so she said, well, have Sean do a portfolio and have him send it to me. I said, yeah, no problem. So I told him about it, and like weeks later, Terry calls me and said, did you tell Sean about what he has to do? I said, yeah. I said, you didn't get it? She said, no. I said, oh my God. So I said, Sean, Terry's waiting for the portfolio for your programming. And he didn't do it. And I couldn't understand it. I said, Sean, you would have a job. Well, first of all, it would be an internship, okay? But he would have experience. And two, he had dreams about having an internet radio show, how back in the 30s, 20s they had radio shows The Dark Shadow or Abbott and Costello and Sherlock Holmes and whatever, right? And it's just a shame. It's just, I have, if you look on my channel, I have a video with me and him playing Blades of Steel on a emulator, and we were having so much fun, and a few weeks ago I was watching it, and it was very funny. I was watching it, and then that's when Claire, his girlfriend, showed up. Called me up and whatever, and told me what was going on with Sean. And it's heartbreaking. Did you like the interaction between Sean and me? Sean and I? We have a lot of fun together. Especially when we talk about wrestling. I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm really not. I'm not really a wrestling fan. Oh, and another thing too. Sergeant Slaughter, who's a friend of mine, Sergeant Slaughter actually retweeted my one of my shorts. I love that man. Anyway, but Oh, alright. I think it's only a 15-minute video, but yeah, I have friends that are wrestlers, but I'm not really a wrestling fan. I'm really not. Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah. His daughter's into wrestling and stuff, but he was in Oklahoma here last year, and And I felt so heartbroken. Because I wanted to go, say hi to him. He was in Norman, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania. I don't know where I got that from. Norman, Oklahoma, because they were doing something for the vets here. And it was at the last minute because I saw him on Channel 6 News here. And I said, if I would have known, I swear, Yeah, I told him, I told Sergeant Slaughter, I said, when you and Kamala were at the Brennan Byrne Arena, the Meadowlands in New Jersey, you had a death match, and you were both disqualified. But here I am, and Sergeant Slaughter, fatigues, army fatigues. I even had the dog tag down to the glasses and the hat, and I even made a sign. And everybody thought I was so freaking cool. And I guess that's where WWE got the idea for these signs. Because people that have these signs, they're actually plants. You know that, right? But I'm not a wrestling fan. This is what I heard. And so I told him about it. But I'm not a wrestling fan, but I was gonna a few years ago I was gonna have Rocket's Rough House, and I was actually gonna have wrestling matches, on WWE 2K23, I think, or no, 20 or 21 or something. It was some kind of wrestling, a 2K. I think it was 2K23. I was gonna have Rocket's Rough House on Friday nights, and I made poster billings and everything, real professional looking, and I put it on the internet and whatever, and somebody told me, well, you should just do wrestling content because you always talk about wrestling. I said, no, I don't. I said, I'm not a wrestling fan at all. Well, yeah, right. You can ask Jim. If somebody mentions wrestling or whatever, I'll talk about it for 3 hours straight. But I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm really not. I don't have friends that are wrestlers. No, I don't. Anyway.
Hurry up. Hurry up, partner.
Don't yell at me like that, buddy. Yeah, so I showed Jim that I don't go on Twitter that much. Twitter's I'm sorry, excuse me, X. That streamers, they'll say on Twitter formerly known, oh no, X, formerly known as Twitter. They all say that. You know that? I still call it Twitter. It's still Twitter. I think it's, you know, they should call it Twiddle instead of Twitter. Because you twiddle your thumbs a lot when you're posting. Maybe I should call my social media site that Twiddle. Yeah, I should. So I went on Twitter for something, I forget, and he reposted one of my shorts, and I told him, I said I'm totally grateful for you, more than you'll ever know. I love you, and all that, and so I showed Jim, you know, he's like, oh my God. I said, see, but I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm really not. Good guy, but the WWE, well, WWF at that time, wouldn't let him out of his contract because he was in that G.I. Joe. You know, and all that stuff. Oh, but did I tell? Oh wait, you're gonna say, oh my God, Tito Santana. See, I don't even know if you're a wrestling fan or not. So why am I talking about it? I'm not a wrestling fan either. Tito Santana. He was very big in the 80s, and we've seen him a few times, you know, wrestle and stuff when I was a kid and all that. You know, Andre, Reba. Anyway, so when Sean went to middle school in Roxbury, New Jersey, Tito Santana, yes, the wrestler, also known as Mr. Solis, was his Spanish teacher. And when that happened, oh my God, you know, and so he loved Sean because Sean was into wrestling and stuff, and he told us stories about like Ric Flair and, you know, whatever. And his wife owned a beauty salon in Roxbury. And there's times where he actually would go to her shop, her beauty shop, and sweep up all the hair there. You know, and then he was a part of Chikara Pro's King of Trios. Well, that's a lot of useless information for you, Japan. Especially if you're not a wrestling fan. I'm not a wrestling fan, so I don't know why I was talking about it. Anyway. And a lot of dirt's coming out with Triple H. And all that. Now, WrestleMania was last week. And they had the Hall of Fame, right? And I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I'm not a wrestling fan, right? But people were complaining about the Hall of Fame because Stephanie McMahon was inducted and her introduction was like an hour long. Well, everybody else's was like maybe 10 minutes for a speech, 15. But her, it was a whole freaking hour. It was all about her. Talk about being narcissistic. I'm telling you. You know that. And so, and I played poker with her one time at Foxwoods. You know that. She sucked at it. I played one hand with her, and I stood up. I said, "Suck this!" All right, because, and the dealer and the boss. Oh my God, he can't. I almost got thrown out. Okay, at Foxwoods. And she said, oh, I won the hand. Yeah. But do you know why they changed it to WWE? Here's some information for you. The WWF was sued by the World Wildlife Fund. The WWF, Worldwide Wildlife Fund, right? And they sued WWF, wrestling company. And do you know that they won? But yeah, Vince McMahon, after his father died, you know why are we talking about wrestling? What got guys started talking about wrestling when I'm not even a wrestling fan? Oh my God. I'm not a wrestling fan, damn it! I'm gonna put that on my tombstone. Somewhere over the rainbow, and I'm not a wrestling fan, damn it. Alright, so, the reason why they didn't have territories anymore either is because of Vince McMahon. He was strong-arming all these territories and stuff. He was like the mafia. He was like the Godfather. I mean, and all that stuff. Now they're trying to bring back the territories and stuff. But, it's mostly with indie companies and stuff, you know what I mean? But, also, with Triple H, all this dirt's coming out about him and all that. And, he let go of 12 wrestlers or something before WrestleMania or whatever. They waste their talent. And all that. And that's why a lot of these people are going over to AEW. And they insult the fans' intelligence by storylines they do. You know? Because a lot of the stories don't make sense. Yeah, why were we talking about wrestling? You must have brought it up, Dishpan. I think it was you that brought it up, right? Because I'm not a wrestling fan. I like to whack balls. And believe me, if I was in a wrestling ring, I would whack some balls around. Whack them real good. My finisher would be called the ball whacker. Oh, what the heck was that? Well, that was a big one.
Would you please give to me a hot dog and a root beer?
Oh. No.
Come on, man. You are too slow.
No, come on now.
Order up.
$50,000 for
I shall have the iced tea
Vessel.
and the frankfurter.
That's Frankfurter. That's supposed to be like Margaret Thatcher or something.
Really, I haven't all day.
It looks like her, right? On the board there. Oh, we're gonna have a feast. We're gonna have a feast of chili and deviled eggs. What combination, huh?
Give me the chili and a root beer.
down in the hole. I like to have it like a shed in the backyard with, you know, like with certain pinball machines, like High Speed, you know, the Addams Family, Twilight Zone, Pinbot. Yeah, I have. I've actually made a cookie butter cheesecake. I haven't made that in a while.
Would you please give to me a hot dog and a root beer?
My grandmother used to make cheesecake and put crushed pineapple on it with cherries, you know. Woo! Wow!
Hurry up, partner.
I shall have the iced tea and the frankfurter.
You already had one, bitch. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. That's what we would say in Jersey. That's all. My mother-in-law. I miss you, Mom. I miss you very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I miss your kisses. I love you so much. I miss you so much. Anyway, my mother-in-law used to buy Edwards cream pies. And one Thanksgiving and stuff, because my back was killing me, whatever, and I love to cook, you know, and when holidays came around, I would cook for 2 days straight. No joke. And so, she asked me, she says, what kind of pie do you want? And I said, pecan pie. And my sister-in-law said, no, it's not pecan, it's pecan. I said, no, pecan. And my sister-in-law, and she passed away silly in 2023. Like, she gave up on life after my mother-in-law died. But, and so she forgot the pecan pie. And my mother-in-law was so... She felt so guilty. And so she, you know, when she went grocery shopping, she got me a pecan pie. Because that's how she was. You know? But she loved my cooking. You know, because I would, like, cook a little extra. I would walk over her house. And I would, you know, surprise her with, you know, meatloaf or pot roast or, like, she loved my ham and bean soup. You know what I mean? And she loved cornbread muffins and all that. You should really get yourself a computer. This pan. Like I told you, there's a computer, a small computer. It's not a tower. It's like a box, and you hook it up to your TV, or you know, and get a cheap monitor, and you can whack some balls. On the game, not whacking balls. In other ways of Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Stay there, ball, stay. I'm on a laptop now.
Really? I haven't all day.
It's not your laptop?
Really? I haven't all day. Really? I haven't all day.
You're playing a game now? What game?
Really? I haven't all day.
Oh, it's old. I still have Windows 10 on my computer, and like when they announced that there was no support for Windows 10,
Really? I haven't all day.
that was stressing me out because I didn't want to lose all my projects and all that stuff, all my files, you know. But you know, it's all cash grab. You know, these computer companies are getting so greedy.
Really? I haven't
You know.
all day.
It's a bit. Wait. Oh. So it's a it's a MAGA game. It's a MAGA game. You know how liberals are on capitalism, right? You know how those jackasses don't like capitalism. Time for a swig of Java Monster. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rock queen. Now, guys, if you're having a hard time in life, life's dragging you down, you're caught up in addiction, you're depressed, you have a lot of anxiety, especially in today's world, you can always talk to me in the chat. I'm here for you. You know that. That's what the Queen's Light Brigade's all about. Is to help people. Because I've been through it, guys. I've been through it. And for those that don't know me, I'm Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters in Rocklahoma. And I've been off cracking heroin since 2004, alcohol since 2011. And I'm still human, guys. I'm still human. I go through depression, anxiety, panic attacks, I have pain issues and whatever, you know, and that's why I stream. I only stream because I want to help people. I care about people genuinely. because it helps me with my sobriety. You know, in order to keep my gift of recovery, I have to give it away. And if you ever feel like you want to talk, guys, you can press urgent in the live chat, or urgent on one of my shorts or videos, or you can email me. Put urgent on the subject line, and then put the topic or a situation. And I check my email frequently throughout the day, and will get back to you as soon as I can. But if you feel that you're not comfortable talking to me, that's fine. But if you really feel like hurting yourself or others and stuff, please pick up the phone and call 988 or your behavioral health center or your nearest hospital emergency room. They'll guide you on what to do next. Usually, if you just walk in the ER and say, you know, you feel like hurting yourself, you feel depressed, they will connect you with a counselor there. It doesn't mean you're going to be admitted there. You know, you can just talk to them and see what's going on and whatever, and they'll make recommendations. And if you feel like, you know, I must say this, guys, don't be ashamed about going into a psych ward. You know, don't be ashamed of, you know, trying to get help for yourself. Because this world's getting crazier and wilder and stuff like that. And it's okay. Everybody needs help sometime in their life. You know, you can't do it alone. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, by us talking about it, guys, we're putting awareness into action. You know, you matter, guys. You do matter. You know, and I'll help you out in any way I can. You know, and I don't expect anything back either. Just say thank you. That's all. You know, because I'm humble like that. And for you veterans out there, I salute you guys and gals in uniform. Thank you for your service. You have sacrificed a lot. And if you're going through addiction, alcoholism, depression, anxiety, you know, please pick up that phone and dial 988 +1. And a trained counselor will talk to you as long as they can. And it's free and confidential, guys. Free and confidential. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. If you know somebody that's struggling, reach out to them. Talk to them. Because it will make a world of difference. Believe me, it will. You know? But people nowadays, they don't want to reach out to anybody and stuff. Because they just don't want to get involved. You know? And it's the world we live in now. It's just sad. We have to bring back the word human back into humanity. We have to bring more humanity back in the world. We have to bring more God in the world. Because this little thing, this cell phone, does not know all. Not like God. even though it seems like you're talking to God or you're looking at God because of that warm LED lighting and oh, you know. I'm just saying, guys, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Just by you being here is enough. You know, what you have in your hand is not God. You know, it really is. Because there's a lot of false truths out there. A lot of lies. And I know you guys know there is. Oh.
Would you please give me a hot dog and a root beer?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Man, you are too slow.
Rocktastic. Multiplier times 2.
Hot dog and a root beer?
I'll think about it, buddy. I love this part. Multi-ball!
Come on, man, you are too slow.
Well, that didn't, yeah, that didn't last long. Oh,
I shall have the iced tea and the frankfurter.
no! Dang it.
Really, I haven't all day.
Don't get your britches all in a bunch, lady. When it comes, it comes.
Really, I haven't all day.
I'll have the Texas chili and fries. I'll have the Texas chili and fries.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Just by you being here enough. Dishpan, I hope you feel better. You know, it's always a rocktastic time when I see you. You know, and take care of yourself. And if you ever need to talk, Dishpan, I mean this sincerely, and you know that. My email is in the bio. And so what you do is press, you type in urgent on the subject line, and then just put whatever situation or, you know. Yeah. At least you didn't have to see my jersey mug. You know, that's even better, right? And I do appreciate your limerick. And I want to do something with that. I really do. I have to finish my project first. Like everything else I have to finish, but you know. But you know, when you're feeling depressed, just, you know, walk away from your device, put it down, maybe, you know, pray, maybe, you know, like draw, write poems, you know, play with your cat. We'll catch up with each other. I love you, friend. Cyber love. So, take care of yourself. And like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. If you do feel like you're gonna hurt yourself or other people, or you're in addiction, alcoholism, you're dealing with any kind of mental illness like OCD, maybe schizophrenia, maybe just depression, anxiety, panic attacks, you can always talk to me. You can always email me. I'm on call 24/7 also, guys, believe me. But I love you all. You know, please consider on enlisting in the Queen's Light Brigade today, because we are trying to create a wildfire of change to diminish the darkness in the world. I know we're not going to get all the darkness in the world, but we're going to fight like hell to get rid of it. So, good night, guys. I'm Rock Queen 71, coming at you live from Rocklahoma. God bless. Be a good human being, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys. Love you, Dish Man. Take care of yourself.